Well, while Motorola continually gives us disappointment after disappointment, there's always Oppo. So, Oppo's next flagship phone might just be the very best phone ever constructed, and it's going all in on megapixels, baby. A fresh leak claims the upcoming Find X10 Pro Max could arrive with not one, not two, but three 200 megapixel rear cameras. This would make it one of the most ambitious camera setups we've ever seen on a smartphone to date. According to Tipster Digital Chat Station, the Find X10 Pro Max will feature a triple camera system built entirely around 200 megapixel sensors, along with an additional 3 megapixel multispectral sensor. If accurate, it would mark a huge improvement even from Oppo's recent camera focused flagship, such as the Ultra X9, or should I say X9 Ultra? There we go. The leaked setup reportedly includes a 200 megapixel main camera with a large 1 over 1.3 inch sensor. It'll also be paired with a 200 megapixel periscope telephoto lens that uses an even larger 1 over 1.28 inch sensor. And Oppo is also reportedly testing a 200 megapixel ultra wide camera with a 1 over 1.56 inch sensor. The company may switch to a smaller 50 megapixel alternative, however, before launch. We shall see, but nonetheless, this thing looks like it is a beast. On paper, that sounds seriously kind of like overkill, but there's likely more going on here than just a race for bigger numbers. Large sensors generally allow more light capture, which can improve low light shots, dynamic range, and zoom quality. A high resolution periscope lens could also give Oppo more flexibility for lossless crop zooming without relying heavily on AI sharpening. The leak also points to a massive display, something I just absolutely love. Oppo is apparently still deciding, they're not sure, but they're in the process of deciding between two different screen sizes: a 6.89 inch LTPO 2.0 panel with 2K resolution, or a slightly smaller 6.78 inch LTPO 2.0 display with a lower 1.5K resolution. Either way, the Find X10 Pro Max looks to set just an ultra premium territory for this device. You can expect the refresh rate to max out somewhere between 144 hertz and shoot, even 165 hertz. I've heard rumors of both. So previous rumors, as I've mentioned, suggest a MediaTek CPU with the upcoming 2 nanometer Dimensity 9600 series chipset. The company has not officially announced it yet, but that's what it looks like it's going to sport, and I absolutely cannot wait. The Find X10 Pro Max may end up being one of the first smartphones to launch with next generation 2 nanometer silicon, beating out other CPUs like the 2 nanometer Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 6 to the market. The Find X10 series is expected to debut in October and will reportedly include the standard Find X10, the Find X10 Pro, and this top tier Pro Max variant. Oppo hasn't confirmed any details yet, but if these camera specs hold up, the company could be preparing for one of the most aggressive camera focused flagship launches of all time. I fully expect this device to beat out its sister device, the Oppo Find X9 Ultra, and essentially it's going to sit on top of the DxOMark Mark camera rankings. I'm actually glad I didn't jump the gun and purchase an X9 Ultra because I think this device has my name written all over it. Since I am on a self imposed Pixel purchase strike, I think I will gladly take the Pixel 11 Pro XL's place with this Oppo Find X10 Pro Max. Since the US smartphone market is essentially the worst it's been in the history of smartphones, I'm not going to let the current USA smartphone market box me in to what they want me to purchase and use. No, 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 no. I'm going to do purposely what I want to do and buy the phone I want to buy. This is a perfect example of why Oppo and other Chinese smartphone manufacturers have companies like Apple, Samsung, Google just shaking in their boots. Nothing, absolutely nothing even comes close to this spec sheet. Google, Apple, and Samsung will do anything and everything in their power to block this device from ever seeing the light of day on US soil. This is real innovation. This is pushing the boundaries. This is what smartphone companies should be doing, not just giving us refreshes. Even if the X10 Pro and Pro Max looks similar to last year's X9 series, the internals are not a refresh. It is just a complete spec sheet overhaul. I desperately want to get in on the excitement and on the cutting edge of technology with this device. And this is just another perfect example of why I'm going to say it again. I'm so frustrated being in the United States, being a tech enthusiast, being a smartphone enthusiast. Like, I love the entire tech world. I truly do. Like, I don't just love phones, but phones I really, really love. It's like my little gadget, my little man toy that I get to use and play with. And it's I'm just so frustrated at Apple, Google, and Samsung, and even you, Motorola. Even though you put out a damn near perfect Motorola signature, you're not bringing it to the U.S. And the device you I thought could be have some potential, at least in the mid range line, the Edge 2026. You did the unthinkable and actually downgraded the Motorola Edge 2026 from the 2025. The 2025 model is even better than the Edge 2026. Like, what are we doing here? Like, and that's why I feel like this channel, and please, I want you to punch that like button, but also I want you to comment down below. Let me know just how frustrated you are. Maybe you're not frustrated. Maybe you're an iPhone user and you're completely fine with the smartphone market in the United States. But guess what? We're not, right? This is an absolute abysmal time to be a smartphone enthusiast in the United States because we continually get screwed on seemingly every launch with every device because our options are getting essentially stepped on as each day goes forward, goes into the future. Have a self-imposed ban on Pixel devices. I'm not encouraging you to join me in the ban, but that's my personal choice, right? So won't be getting a Pixel. Samsung looks like we might have some uh, um, potential greatness there with the upcoming S27 Ultra. I'm gonna wait until we, get to that point. But I would, expect Samsung to bring something rather exciting. But that's basically it because I'm not getting an iPhone. Samsung and may have something there with the S27 Ultra, but not getting a Pixel. And the signature is, like I said, I love that phone, damn near perfect. I'm pointing over here because it's sitting right behind me on this table, but that's it. So they're essentially forcing me and thousands, tens of thousands of other people that are just like me, and a lot of subscribers and viewers of this channel feel just like I do. So I know I'm not the only one here venting my frustrations with the US smartphone market. It completely sucks. And that's why I think moving forward, I think I'm going to go on a Chinese phone shopping spree and essentially replace all my shitty US smartphones with Chinese smartphones because they are absolutely killing it. It just frustrates me to no end that these companies are, I guess technically they're not banned from the US market, but can I be honest here? I think there is a behind the scenes push to make sure that these outside cell phone companies, manufacturers like Oppo, I think there's a push behind the scenes to keep them out of the US because Samsung, Google, Apple, even Motorola can lobby, give money to politicians to essentially make sure that these Chinese smartphone brands are not allowed in the US. They're going to do anything and everything they can do to make sure this does not see the light of day in the US. They have to be scared to death of Oppo, scared to death of this new X10 Pro, the whole lineup, the X10, X10 Pro, X10 Pro Max, and I'm assuming at some point down the line, X10 Ultra. But this X10 lineup, I believe the X10 is going to be a smaller unit. The X10 Pro probably going to have a mid-range, not a mid-range spec, but it'll be the middle child in there because the X10 series is going to be a complete flagship lineup. It's going to be like the S27 series. We get the S27, S27 Plus, and S27 Ultra, right? Or I guess should I say Pro? But you get the point. I think they're going to have three separate devices, three separate devices with similar specs. I just think the Pro Max one is going to have the triple 200 megapixel camera lineup on the back. Just has me so excited, but so frustrated at the same time. Nothing is going to stop me from getting this device. And same thing for you too. Now, what sucks in the only difference is buying a phone and Oppo outside. If you're in the US, you're going to have to go on eBay or Giztop to go buy it. So what sucks about that? Well, I potential warranty issues if you would unexpectedly incur any warranty issues. That might be the only thing I can think of that would be a downside to buying it outside of from the manufacturer. Because if you bust a screen with Samsung and you have insurance on it, well, you can get it repaired. But I guess you can circumvent that by getting third-party insurance, right? There's third-party companies online where you can buy insurance for electronics or a smartphone. If you break the screen on your new Oppo Find X10 Pro Max, you can file a claim. They should give you money for it, and you can go buy another one. So I guess it's not that big of a deal. But this just has me so excited. And 2 years ago, I would have never have guessed we would be here sitting in this predicament that we find ourselves in right now, because it is absolutely horrid. Like it's embarrassing how bad it is. But that's not going to stop me. If they're going to, the harder they push back on forcing these shitty phones on us, the harder I'm going to push back and go out and get Chinese phones and promote Chinese phones. Because I know a lot of y'all, and look, I'm in the same shoes. I take it back. I'm a OnePlus fanboy, but they've sold their phones in America, but they're not anymore. But I'm just saying, I guess I haven't really purchased any Chinese smartphones like Oppo or Vivo outside the US market. So, there's a little, not necessarily worried, or, there's just that little speed bump you got to get over. You just got to, I think what I'm going to do is just order one, go for it, shoot for the stars, get it. And I know I'm going to immediately fall in love with the device as soon as I get it. But I want to show people that what other options are out there, because I feel like we're getting put in this little box and they're telling us these are the only phones you can buy. And that's just simply not the case. And that's just not the case. But I want to get one of these in here, the Oppo Find X10 Pro Max, and I want to show you what it can do. Like, I want to show you just how much better it is than the phones we're forced to purchase, or think we are forced to purchase, or you know what I'm saying? So I'm very excited. I'm definitely going to be getting one of these. Hands down, I will be purchasing one, probably the Pro Max, because I want to, it should be better. And it's even hard to believe. Theoretically, should take better photos, video than the Oppo Find X9 Ultra, which is hard to even comprehend, but it should. And it's going to have the brand new MediaTek 9600 CPU in there, 2 nanometers. It's going to have an 8,000 milliamp per hour battery. Get this. It's going to have an 8,000 milliamp per hour silicon carbon battery, 8,000. It's going to have a 2 nanometer chip. So the smaller they get every year, the more efficient they are, the less power they require. to perform the tasks. So if you have a larger battery, smaller power draw, should have the new BOE OLED displays. I was looking at BOE, and forgive me for not having the information in front of me, but what I can tell you, the new BOE display that I think they're going to put on here is so power efficient. You're going to combine a bigger, larger 8,000 milliamp hour silicon carbon battery. You're going to include a 2 nanometer chipset, which requires less power. And you're going to throw in there a brand new BOE OLED display that is incredibly power efficient. You're going to be looking on this Oppo Find X10 Pro Max, you're going to be looking at a 3-day battery life. Dare I say 4-day. Now, 4 might be stretching it, but I think if there's ever a device that is close to be coming to the market, I think this could be it. I guarantee you, you're going to see 3 days. The OnePlus 15 is a 2-day phone. The specs that this Oppo Find X10 Pro Max has is going to overshadow. It beats the OnePlus 15 battery, power specs, battery life. It's going to be 3 days at the very least, and potentially pushing it into 4 days. So, it's going to charge in 20 something minutes. It's just every spec that I look at, everything that I look into is just it's like a no brainer. And it just puts anything and everything else you compare it to, doesn't even compare. Does not even compare on any spec line. Uh, it's it's going to be fabulous, and I cannot wait. So, if this device interests you just as much as it interests me, I suggest you subscribe to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. I can promise you this: I will be covering this launch of these X10 of this X10 family of devices, the X10, X10 Pro, X10 Pro Max. I'm going to be covering this extensively, and I will be getting one. So please subscribe to the channel, and I will keep you updated on this device and all other devices in the tech world that pique your interest. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.